It's not pizza night, but it sure looks like it. But there's a reason for the pizza box. Tonight we're working with the Gilded Flakes, which can be messy. And as you can see, I'm just opening up the jar now. And just to show you, there are some warnings on there for you not to eat it. But they are Gilded Flakes, and you add them to your project, and it just adds that touch of glamour to it. Open the lid carefully because those flakes can fly everywhere. And in doing so, hold your breath, don't sneeze, turn off the air conditioner because those flakes will fly. The reason for the pizza box is that it has 4 little walls. Now, those little flakes are jammed into that jar quite tightly. So it was recommended that you remove some of them and put them in a smaller or a larger jar that is easier to access. Now notice I'm doing this very slowly and very carefully and trying not to breathe. So I'll keep going as long as my hands don't turn purple. So the next thing we're going to do, make sure the lid gets back on there every time very tightly. These flakes go a long way, so you don't need very many of them for each project. Now what the first project is basically to make a background. And before we start, these flakes tend to stick to your hands, so I just take the little embossing buddy or some talcum powder, whatever, and just rub my hands, and that kind of prevents the flakes from sticking. Now I'm going to use a adhesive sheet, and I'm just going to remove the back of one part of it, and you can see that it is sticky. Metallic flakes will stick to anything that is sticky. Even orange juice on the floor, well, you don't want to apply it there, but anything that is sticky. So rather than dumping all of the flakes onto your project, which you might want to have the tendency to do, just take a few at a time, place them on the sticky surface, and then rub with your fingers. You don't need any special tools other than your fingers, really. And that as you're applying the flakes, you can feel where the sticky areas are that need to be covered with the flakes. So rub gently and just keep on applying until all the sticky area is covered. So you can make some beautiful, beautiful backgrounds with the metallic flakes. And once your entire surface is covered, you can even take an embossing folder, run it through the big shot, and you have a wonderful embossed background. I might have some pictures about that a little bit later. But right now, I just want to concentrate on this little strip. Once you have finished burnishing, you'll be left with these fine little particles of gold. You don't want to you don't want to keep them, but you don't want them all over your workplace either. So you rub off as much as you can with your fingers, then tap off the rest, which I'll be doing shortly. And I feel a sticky spot there, but I don't know if I'm going to put anything on it. Anyway, I'm going to shake off now the excess, and the bigger flakes I will keep, but the smaller ones I'll just throw away. Some people like to keep them. It's entirely up to you. So just put it gently back in the jar like you do with embossing powder. And don't forget to put the lid back on your jar. Thank you. And now you want to clean up your work a little bit. And you can take a brush, that's just an ordinary flat paint brush, or a stipple brush that I got in the dollar store. And basically you just rub, I'll just put it back on the pink background so you can see it easier. You just rub, and that burnishes the surface, and as you can see, it removes a few more of the gold flakes from your work. And then just tap it off again, and you are ready to do to create. You can die cut that. You can cut it into strips, make it a background for your sentiments, or even make it a background for your art piece. You can. The other thing you can do is just take an ordinary sponge, which I use to wash my dishes with, and dry, of course, and then just rub the surface of your finished background as well. So there you go. Isn't that nice and shiny and gold? It's gorgeous.